Hey y'all, it's XOXO Kenzie back for my next YouTube video. Hopefully if you're watching, you've already subscribed to my channel. But if not, please like and subscribe. Today I want to talk about savings, financial plans, how to save money. So that was really hard for me when I first became a dancer, just because I came into so much money at one time that I never really had in my hands before. I'm going to teach you about 5 things that helps you save money. First thing first is always pay your bills first. So in the beginning of the month, let's say it's like the first of the month, I use all my money and pay my bills right away. So after your bills are paid, of course, this is what I want you to do with the remainder of your money. Basically, I save all my $100 bills. Whenever you come into contact with a $100 bill, save it, right? This is not to be spent. This has the highest value in the American dollar. To be honest, I'm bougie. I only like blue hundreds. If I have a 100 like this, I honestly keep that in my money to spend. But I'm gonna talk about that later. Okay, so all your hundreds, you should put in an envelope. Okay, so after each envelope hits 1,500, I seal the envelope, put it away. I have a little box of envelopes that I keep. And I literally, once I fill one, I just get another one, start another. For me, saving cash is easier than a bank account because it's so much easier for me just to go swipe a card, right? So if I just have it in my bank account, I'm gonna switch that shit over from savings to checking and buy that shit. So a little piece of plastic just doesn't work for me. For me, it's so much easier to have cash and then put that cash somewhere, hidden, of course, different places around the house, so it's not all in one place. Put some in your mom's house, wherever, right? And basically, when you have cash and you leave it home and it's locked up in an envelope, you can't spend it when you go out. So if you don't bring it with you, you can't spend it. I also save 50s. I don't like to spend $50 bills, okay? So I don't come into as many, I don't come into contact with as many 50s, but every 50 I get, I also put it away in an envelope. Obviously, leftover, you're gonna have ones, I don't have any ones to show you, but ones, fives, 10s, 20s. And for me, I don't like these hundreds. They're just ugly to me. They don't match. I have OCD, okay? So I can't just put it in the blue envelope things. This is what goes to me spending. If I run out of this, I act broke again. I'm broke. Once I spend these, that's it. Envelopes, blue hundreds and 50s, okay? Spending. Basically all your green money, okay? All your pink and blues, put them away. Green, you green to spend it. That's how I do. Now, you're gonna notice that you're gonna start saving money, and you're gonna want to spend it sometimes because you have the mindset of, oh, well, I made $1,500 yesterday, I could just make that again tomorrow. Get out of that mindset. That's not how it always works. Like, I've done it so many times where I was like, oh, I made $1,000 today, I can spend $800 and I'll spend the $800, I'll just make it again tomorrow, and I don't make it again the next day. So this is the key for spending money. If you don't have enough money to buy that item at least 4 times, do not buy it. So if you do not have the money to buy it 4 times over, you don't have the money to purchase that item. So let's say you want to spend $1,000. If you don't have $4,000, you don't have the money to spend $1,000. For me, I still don't want to take it out of the blue hundreds. So if I don't have it in this, I don't have it. It's not there. Because once you seal that envelope full of blue hundreds or pink 50s, it's gone. Imagine it like, bye, like, it's on fire, like it's gone, okay? Envelopes, separate your money. It gives you more of an idea of how much you actually have. So for me, once I get a certain amount of the envelopes with the blue hundreds, okay, I don't want that all laying around my house at this point. Just for, you don't want anybody to rob you, stuff like that. I mean, once I get so many envelopes, for me, like 2 or 3 full of the Blue Hundreds, then I usually go and put it into a savings account. I do not have a card for that savings account. If I need that money, I have to go to the bank and get it removed out of the bank. It gives you a lot more time to process and think. You're not impulse buying. You're like, okay, I have to go to the bank and take out this $3,000 or whatever. When it comes to spending and budgeting, I always try and have a goal every day. So my goal when I go shopping, grocery shopping, I always am like, okay, I'm gonna bring, let's say, okay, I'm just gonna grab some money and, okay, if I say this is $120, I'm trying to spend $100. I want 20 left over. I'm gonna bring 120 just in case, but my budget is $100. So let's say I go to the grocery store, I'm like, okay, I need whatever, like, whatever. Shampoo, conditioner, some eyeliner, like eggs and bacon and shit, whatever. So I'm finna go and count up my money as I'm shopping. I'm gonna take my phone out. I have my calculator out. I'm that bitch. I'm like, okay, this equals, if it's $4.72, that's $5. So budget it before you go. What are you going to buy at the store? Don't just go to the store like, oh, I need a bunch of shit. I need groceries. Go to the store and pick out what you need beforehand on a list and add that shit up as you're totaling out. Bring a certain amount. Don't bring all this extra money, because then chances are you're like, oh, well, I could get this too. I could get this too. No, that's not how it goes. Budget. You need to have a list of what you want to buy. So even if you're going to go to the mall, not the grocery store, what do you need today? Don't just go out like, oh, I need to go shopping. Because like I said, if you don't bring the money, you can't spend it. The thing I'm going to talk about is keeping track of how much money you're actually making. Because if you're making money but you don't actually know how much, then it's hard to figure out how much of a budget you have to spend, right? So I always have a planner, of course. Basically, I try to keep track 2 different ways. I try to write it down on the day how much I made, right? So I just have like a goal to always have a goal. Before I go to work, I try to think about a lot of things to take in consideration, like what day of the week is it? How much am I normally making around a day like this? Is there a sporting event? Whatever. What could interfere with work today? Or, I mean, what's an expected amount that I should at least be making today? Of course, you're not always going to make your goal, and sometimes you're going to make more than your goal, but it's important just to have an idea in mind of how much you're trying to make that day. And then come home and write the total down, so you're knowing how much you made that week. I do the same thing with the calendar, right? So even if I make 200 that day and I had a bad day, I'm still gonna write 200 down. If I made 1100 that day, I'm gonna put it down. On the calendar, it's good to also write your bills. So I have phone bill due this day, car payment due this day. That way I'm knowing how much I'm really making, but also how much I need to spend that week, or at least what I need to cover my bills with. So by the end of the week, you should be able to total it up at the end, and you'll know about how much you're making weekly. Even if it's not the same, at least you can budget and tell yourself, okay, I can spend this much needs to go in the savings. Now for everybody, it's different, because you don't always, not everyone's a dancer. You don't always get $1,000 or $600 or even $200 a day. So this applies to even if you have a paycheck. Go cash your paycheck. Don't just put that stuff in your checking account, right? Go cash your paycheck. And if they give you 3 Blue Hundreds and they give you $700 in green money, you have $700 paycheck. The 3 needs to get put away. So like I said, envelopes, save your 50s and 100s. Spend only your green money. Create a budget before you go shopping. 5, keep track of all the money you're making. Some people keep track of what they spend. I honestly, I spend so much, it just doesn't work for me. But I keep track of my bills. And by knowing how much you make each week, whatever you're left with at the end of the week is obviously just subtract that. That's how much you spent. So if I made $3,000 this week, and at the end of the week I put this much in savings, 500, and then I only have $1,000 left. Well, I obviously spent $1,500, right? So the best way for me to keep track of how much I spent is just to know how much I'm making, how much I put into savings, and then subtract that. So yeah, obviously you spent that much. So again, this is XOXO Kenzie. If you like what you are seeing and you want more content from me, then like and subscribe on my YouTube. Follow me on Instagram at XOXO_Kenzie. I'm going to be updating y'all with a lot more videos now that I got my channel ready. Also, if you want to collaborate or whatever, hit me up for that too, because I'm down to do a bunch of videos on literally anything. My next video is probably gonna be cooking with Kenzie, okay? Because I'm pretty good at cooking and I like food. So also remember that when you cook food, you save more money. So yeah, if you like what you saw today, please like, subscribe, repost, and follow me, okay? Again, XOXO Kenzie. Thank you.